Hi, my name is Tom Gottschalk. I'm one of the medical educators with Platinum Educational Group. I'm going to guide the preceptors through the system at platinumplanner.com and kind of show you how the website works. And again, this is for preceptors who are assisting a program with basically facilitating learning in the field setting, whether it be EMS or the ER or a special department within a hospital. I'm going to kind of guide you through that process. A preceptor is basically a low stakes user in the system who really is just going to witness certain events take place and then judge the students on how that experience went and kind of give the program some feedback on the student and how that went. When I go ahead and log in the first time, um, it's going to ask me to actually create a password for myself. The way I'm going to do that is I'll just go ahead and put in one that I'll memorize very easily and then save that password. And then I'm into the system. To get back into the system in the future, I'll just go ahead and log in with my username and password, and then see if there's any work to do. So that's how you get into the website. The other way that preceptors will be created is internally from the school. The clinical coordinator or the program chair will go ahead and create your identity ahead of time, and then you'll have a user account that will be set up for you in advance. And then you'll log in with your username and your password. Note, for the preceptors, typically most aren't entering their email address, they're just entering their username, which is unique to you. The last way your account can get set up is actually by the student who was with you that day. The way that works is the student will create an identity for you. They'll tell you what that identity is, and it's very similar to the way you created your preceptor account. They create an identity, you log in and create your password, and life is going to be pretty easy for you from that standpoint. But either way, those are the three ways that preceptor accounts are set up. Most of the work done by the preceptor is just basically viewing records and then giving feedback on the student when that's done. So if I log into the system as a preceptor, I go to my home page and I go to the bottom here. It says view student approval requests. If I check on that process, I see if there's any work to do, and it looks like demo student basic 1 has requested me to look at his charts and make sure that what he said happened. If I go back to the home page, these are some of the activities I've done already in the past, some of the approvals I've done already. But if I go to the home page, again, I do view student approval requests. And I look at this opportunity here and it says, okay, this person's requesting permission to have me grant approval to his experience. So I click on that particular experience. It's highlighted now in yellow. And this particular person said on 5/30 or May 30th, 2012 at 1800 hours until 2000 hours, they got to see 2 patient encounters. One was a 1-year-old male with a diabetic problem, and they requested permission to be granted a successful pediatric assessment. So I look at that process and say, yep, that kind of makes sense. They did a pediatric assessment. I thought it was fair. And then at 2 o'clock, they saw a 15-year-old female with a diabetic problem, and they tried to do an OB assessment, but it didn't go very well. So they just wanted to let their instructor know that they tried one. They got some feedback from you, and you said that it wasn't really that good. So they didn't get full credit for it, but they did want a chart that they tried. If that looks accurate, you can also look at some of the paperwork they submitted for you. In this particular scenario, there aren't any. But if that information looks accurate and you believe that that's actually what happened during the experience, this seems to match up as far as credit goes on what they were successful with. What you could do is basically approve the form. If you click approve the form, it gets submitted to the program coordinator for ultimate acceptance. They'll review the chart the same way you just did. If you disapprove the form, it'll be sent back to the student as incomplete or a rejection, and they'll have to resubmit that information for approval. This is in fact what we consider kind of like an affidavit, the student submitting a request for credit on skills, assessments, and particular procedures, and you're basically affirming that that happened the way that they said it happened. If you have any questions about this process, you can always contact a clinical coordinator for clarification, but if it seems like it's in good condition, that's actually what you believe happened, and that reflects really a good experience for that student, just press approved, and your work is done. If you don't think it reflects accurately what happened there and you think the student did a really poor job, you can disapprove that process. But in this particular scenario, we're satisfied. We press approved, and then we submit that evaluation. You may be asked during that time to actually judge the student. That's an optional form for many programs. If you are asked to do a review of the student, what you want to do is basically fill out the survey and then press submit, and then basically you're done with that experience. So hopefully that information was helpful. If you have any questions about the site or how to use the system, you can always contact us at 616-890-7103, or use the tech support line right over here on the right-hand side. Or you can use the email link by using the contact us, and that'll get you in touch with our team. In general, if you have any other questions about the site, certainly the clinical coordinator at the host site can help you out. And thank you very much for serving as a preceptor. I hope you recognize your role is very important to our program success, and we appreciate your assistance. Thanks.